So what can peptides actually do for the skin? Well, it turns out, as long as it's a really well-formulated product, quite a lot. And today I'll be talking about one such product that also happens to be affordable, which is pretty rare when it comes to peptide skincare. And it is, of course, the new and pretty fantastic Geek Gorgeous Power Peptide Serum. In case you don't know me yet, hi, my name is Ulrike. I am a skincare and key beauty content creator, and I'm happy to have you with me today for this review of this little gem of a product. So Geek Gorgeous's Power Peptide just came out a couple of weeks ago, and the second that I received it, which was pretty much on launch day, they kindly sent it to me. I have been using it every day since I received it because this is a spoiler for this review. I'm obsessed with this. First, I'm going to tell you a tiny bit about peptides. I have already spoken about peptides in my CosRx Peptide Booster, Skin Booster, I think it's called, review. So there's a longer explanation in there if you want to listen to it. I'm going to try and make it short. And then I'll give you a bit of my experiences with this product so far and my final review. So what is Power Peptide, or what does it promise to be? Basically, it is a peptide containing anti-aging serum meant to improve skin elasticity, uneven skin texture and tone, and also help with wrinkle care. Power Peptides contains 4 peptide complexes. Because I'm not a scientist, I always have trouble explaining what peptides are, but basically they are blocks of amino acids or long chain amino acids that naturally occur in the body, and they basically perform a whole host of functions. For us as skincare users, the main functions that are interesting for us is that they boost the production of 2 amino acids in particular that are responsible for the beautiful, juicy, plump, youthful skin that we all desire, and that is elastin and collagen. As for the 4 peptide complexes or peptide technologies that this formula uses, the first one is 2% matrixyl synthase 6, which also has a different name that I'm going to put somewhere here because I can't pronounce it. And this can boost the production of 6 major components of the skin matrix, especially collagen and hyaluronic acid. The next peptide complex is TEGO-PEP417, which again has a different name, tetrapeptide 21, and it works quite similar to that matrixyl synthase 6. This comes in a concentration of 4%. And the third peptide complex is 3% matrixyl 3000, which again has a different name. It's basically 2 types of peptide complexes combined in one, and it is used to improve wrinkle depth, skin elasticity, and also the firmness of the skin. It can also help even out skin tone, potentially even help with hyperpigmentation, but I wasn't sure in how far, because Geek Gorgeous is very careful not to name this a hyperpigmentation serum. Some people claim peptides can help with that, but I don't know if the studies just aren't there or why, but I assume Geek Gorgeous has a good reason to not mark this as a specifically hyperpigmentation serum, but more for a general evening out of the skin tone. And then the last of the 4 peptide complexes or technologies is X50 anti-aging, and it comes in a concentration that sounds very low, but let me explain. So it comes in a concentration in the serum of 0.001%. However, Geek Gorgeous makes it very clear that it needs only such a low percentage to still work. Apparently there are studies backing up that it works in that low concentration. So let's just trust Geek Gorgeous. And remember that high percentages don't always mean that it's automatically a more effective product. Now this copper peptide, I would say, elevates the entire formula and really makes this such an amazing product given the low price point of this serum. And I'll tell you how much it costs in a second, because this The X50 anti-aging complex is an encapsulated copper peptide complex. And copper peptides is such an expensive raw ingredient. You will see that when you try to buy even the ordinary copper peptide serum, which the ordinary is an affordable brand, but this one still costs, I think, even over 30 euros or even more. Like, it's really, really expensive. One of the most expensive products they have, because it is such an expensive raw ingredient. And it is really one of the gold star peptides for anti-aging, for wrinkle care, and for just overall skin elasticity and betterment of the skin firmness. And I've always been a really huge fan of copper peptides, but I usually can't afford them. Can't afford the products with them. So this was a real treat to see this in the ingredient list. So Matrixyl 3000, Matrixyl Synthi 6, Tego Pep 417, and X50 anti-aging. Those are the 4 peptide technologies or complexes in this serum. And just like all Geek Gorgeous serums, this is alcohol-free, it is fragrance-free, it is a vegan formula, and it also is just in general a very minimalist formula. It contains a little bit of glycerin for hydration, and then the peptides, and of course all the other stuff to make it a nice formula, but that's about it. This is a milky gel, and it comes as all Geek Gorgeous products in this drop applicator. And I'll show you a close-up of this as well, so that you can see the texture somewhere in this video. And it is basically just used as you would a hydrating serum. So use it after cleansing, if you use a toner, after using your toner. And yes, you can combine it with your retinoids. In fact, it is encouraged to use this with your retinol or retinal or tretinoin, because peptides can actually boost the efficacy of retinol. So as I said, I've been using this for a while now, probably around 4 weeks, and I've used it every day. I usually use it at night. You can also use it in the morning, but somehow I just kind of always combine it with my other night serums that I use, and that seems to work very well for me. The first thing that I noticed when I used it is how lovely the formula is overall. Geek Gorgeous in general is just really fantastic at formulating really pleasant, especially gel textures. Their moisturizers also are beautiful. They're just fantastic at that, again, given the low price point. It has this milkiness to it, and it does feel very non-sticky. It feels quite similar to a lot of those thicker, milky toners that you get now from Korean brands. And it has the same lightness to it. It does sink in very well as well. So it doesn't stick to the skin. Some milky serums I find take a long time absorbing. This one does not. It spreads really well on the skin, and it doesn't just sit on the skin. It absorbs pretty much fully. And that was the first thing I really liked about it. Just using it and going, oh, this is okay. This is nice. This feels very luxurious. And also, I started seeing results quite fast. Subtle results. It's not as if it immediately transformed my skin. That's impossible to do for any product. But what I noticed after just a couple of days is that it just gives this beautiful, silvery, almost dewy glow to the skin. I don't know what it is in this formula, but something just seems to really create that glass skin, but kind of more like moonlight glass skin from using this. And it's just beautiful. And it isn't just cosmetic. It isn't just, you know, because I just applied the serum. It kind of lasts. So when I wake up the next morning, I still have a bit of that dewiness on the face. It's so gorgeous. And I prefer it to the more sort of sticky, almost like glazed donut style glass skin. Because again, it has a bit of a silvery dewiness to it, sort of moonlight reflecting quality. It's so gorgeous, and I'm absolutely addicted to it. The other thing that I noticed when I use this is that it really hydrates my skin very well, again, without any residue, which I appreciate. And it really has a very noticeable plumping effect. Plus, skin just feels very silky after using it. It just has this, yeah, silky is the best feeling to describe it. The more I use this, the more I really notice the plumping effect. Now I'm 45, in case it's the first time you are watching my videos. I'm 45, and so I have really noticeable what's called, you know, those here, those prominent folds. And it doesn't make it disappear or anything, but it does kind of plump it up a little bit more. And especially around this area too, I just noticed that everything looks a bit plumper and juicier when I use this, especially in combination with a good retinol serum. That combo is just, it's doing things for my skin and really good things for my skin. As for wrinkle improvement, I think it will probably need a bit longer for me to see any differences. Can't say that I have. You can also use it around the eyes, so that's what I've also been trying, because my eye wrinkles are pretty much my main concern, except for sagginess in general. That's my other big concern. It's just really fantastic as a general anti-aging or smart aging product. And I think anyone, certainly 30 plus, should look into getting this if you have been curious about peptides, or if you, like me, have tried a couple of other affordable formulas and honestly not quite seen the results that you were hoping for. I feel especially with the 4 peptide complexes that Geek Gorgeous chose for the formula in the concentration that they chose, it just makes it so high quality that it's almost a miracle that it is being sold at the price point that it's being sold at, which is 15 euros 80 for the 30 ml bottle. So that would be around, probably around 17 US dollars. I know Medicaid has a very popular peptide serum. Some people have said that the formulas are quite similar, not completely similar, so it's not a complete one-to-one copy or alternative, so those claims are incorrect, but apparently some of the peptides used are quite similar, and you know, you get it for a fraction of the price. So I really warmly encourage you to consider giving this a try. I always try to stay away from saying you have to get something, because I want to stay away from like clickbaity or overconsumptionary sort of content. But with this one, at least if you've already been on the fence about maybe I should try a peptide serum, this one is really good. And I really love this so, so much. And I feel at that price point, you can't really go wrong as such. Of course, there might always be people who react to something in the formula, so I also can't promise you will have the exact results that I have. But I do think in general, it's very sensitive skin friendly, and it's really just gorgeous. So that was my review of Geek Gorgeous's Power Peptide. I am completely in love with it. It's just really, really great. And I hope my review was helpful. If you're new here, it would be fantastic if you consider subscribing. Liking the video always helps, and it's always wonderful if you leave a nice comment. Let me know if you've tried this serum in particular. I'd love to hear other opinions on it. And otherwise, we see each other again in 2 weeks with shorter hair, because I'm finally going to the hairdresser. This has gotten ridiculous, and I'm not made for long hair. It's too much work. So next time, hopefully with chopped hair, and hopefully my curls will come back as well, because I just cannot get them into my hair when they're this long. It's a nightmare. Anyway, see you again in 2 weeks with a new video. Until then, please take care. Bye.